Hey, so the Federal Reserve met this week and they did not raise interest rates. And in addition, the Bureau of Labor Statistics missed the mark on employment numbers for the first time in what seems like forever. So how does that affect mortgage rates? Let's take a look. So welcome to this week's Mortgage Minutes with Mitch. I am Mitch Jenkins, Senior Loan Officer with Your Home Financial. So the biggest headline of the week was the Federal Reserve or the Federal Open Market Committee meeting and deciding to pause rate hikes again. They did not raise the federal funds rate for the second month in a row. And the biggest probably takeaway was all the speculators looking at the press release after, and what they do is dissect every single word of what the Fed comes out and says. And a lot of them are starting to think that we may be at an inflection point, that the Fed thinks that a lot of things that are happening are starting to have the desired outcome, so they may pause rate hikes going forward. We may be at the point where we've reached the peak, and going forward, we might not be ready to dip or drop rates, but at least they're going to stop going up. That's the hope. So another huge announcement this week were the job numbers. So the first one to come out is always the ADP report, and that missed the mark by quite a bit. We were expecting 150,000 jobs created, only 113,000 were actually added. Now the bigger story is always the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and the interesting part is this came out after the Fed made their decision. But every single month of this year, pretty much, the Fed has blown the number out of the water. The Bureau of Labor Statistics has blown their expectations out of the water. But what's happened is then they go back and quietly revise the numbers downward. Now the problem with that is the Fed makes a lot of their decisions based on how strong they think the economy is, and a lot of these job numbers have been bogus. They've been inflated. So the Fed is raising rates on kind of false information. So quietly they go back and revise the numbers downward, and if you watch me, you know I sound like a broken record. I've been saying this all year, but here we are again. So we missed the mark by 30,000. The expectation was 180, came in at 150. But the revisions continue. So in August they revised down by 62,000, and in September down by 39,000. So that's over 100,000 jobs revised down in just 2 months. So we could again be at that inflection point where we start to see rates level off, maybe even in the near future start to go down. Not a guarantee. I'll obviously be watching this very closely. There's one more meeting in December for the Federal Open Market Committee, and that'll probably set the tone for 2024 and kind of how we expect things to pan out in the next year. So if you are in a position where you're ready to purchase, or you're kind of getting yourself set up for making that decision, let me know what I can do to help you. Would love the opportunity to work with you. So as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.